So did you see the study that was out last week that actually came out, I think, Friday or Saturday? I saw it on the news. That drinking a bottle of wine a week is as bad as smoking 5 to 10 cigarettes and increases your risk of getting cancer.
5 to 10 cigarettes a week or 5 to 10 cigarettes a day?
A week.
Okay.
Or no, is it smoking 5 to 10? Hold on a second. Drinking a bottle of wine per week increases the risk of cancer by the equivalent of smoking 5 to 10 cigarettes, depending on your gender, a new study has found. It's worse for women.
I've never met anybody.
And it's 10 cigarettes a week.
Okay, I've never met anybody that has got cancer from smoking 1 cigarette a day. I'm just going to take the mean.
Have you ever met anybody that got cancer from smoking?
Yes, but they smoke like
a pack a day?
10 or more a day. Okay? Not 5 to 10 over the course of a week.
I just thought wine was so healthy for you. It's good for your heart, all this other stuff.
Hold on a second. Does that mean if I drink 3 bottles of wine in a week, that I am...
Yeah, for every bottle of wine, it's 10 cigarettes.
It's the equivalent of smoking 30 cigarettes?
If you kick back a bottle of wine a day, or maybe 2 a week...
Then you have...
4 a week or 5 a week, then your chances go way up. So if you drink 2 bottles of wine a week... Hold on a second. I'm looking at a chart here. It's all BS, isn't it? So, if you drink 3 bottles of wine a week, it's like smoking 30 cigarettes.
That is insane to me.
What if you smoked cigarettes and drank wine?
Well, then you're compounding cancer, right?
But, I mean, look at the French. We talk about how healthy they are all the time. They do this all the time. This is a Tuesday for them.
Or maybe there's something to
some French people drink a couple bottles a day, and they smoke a pack.
Maybe the bread and the cheese balances it out. Because that's all they eat is bread and cheese, right? Bread, cheese, bread.
And meat. They eat processed meat.
Salamis and stuff like that.
Salami type stuff, yeah.
So bread, cheese, meat, which I could live on that just fine. No problem. If I could live on it.
But if you just have
wine.
So if you're going to drink a lot, drink vodka. I think vodka is the purest. They don't put it in barrels, so you can't get anything from the wood that they age it in. It's just wheat or corn or potato fermented and then boiled off, and there you go. That's why I love vodka. But I love all booze. So, yeah, there's something that's kind of weird. I know you're not a big wine drinker, so not a big deal for you, but there are a lot of people that drink wine.
I appreciate wine, though. And what I appreciate about wine is, of all the drinks in the world, the one that gives me the buzz in the time that it should is wine. Something about that 12.5 number. Anywhere from 10 to 12.5 number, or a stout beer, like a beer that's good, that carries this kind of alcohol volume. I appreciate the alcohol ratio in wine. I appreciate the alcohol ratio in a barley wine or a really strong beer, like some of the stuff they do up at Firestone.
Barley wine?
Yeah.
I never had one of those.
Well, it's basically beer that's wine.
Yeah.
Listen,
if I'm going to drink wine, there's plenty of just regular old wine I can drink.
Well, no, I know, but barley wine is like a beer that's wine.
Yeah.
Like
a mead?
Not a mead. No.
Doesn't say anything about mead. Here's the thing. Everything in moderation, right? There you go. That's your answer.
Yeah, but if you're limiting me to a bottle of wine a week, and I'm big into wine, I mean, I know some people, they put like 3 bottles of wine away a day.
Yeah. No, I know lots of people.
Sleep.
Yeah.
Like it's
I have
nothing.
friends that
like
put at least a bottle away.
Like, you know how I drink coffee? They drink wine. How I drink coffee.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's fine. Whatever. To each their own. I'm not here to preach. But you add that whole, I mean, they're drinking at least 7 bottles a week. That's 70 cigarettes a week.
I used to drink probably a couple bottles a week. And last year I quit drinking wine. I taste and I spit.
What?
Yeah, I'm glad.
Why?
I'm going to live longer.
Oh, God.
Study has found that where white people live, they ingest foods that are more harmful to the environment. Like eating a lot of beef, for example. They say
how is it
feedlots.
harmful to the environment?
Well, when you eat a lot,
I don't care what I eat.
According to this study, white people eat a lot of beef, and you have to raise a lot of cattle to eat a lot of beef. And if you're eating a lot of beef and you're eating a lot of cattle, and they come from these feedlots where they're just feeding all these cows. See, that's not the case around here because we don't have the feedlots around here. Everything's, grass fed and free range and all that kind of stuff, which is actually very good for the environment because grass puts off more oxygen in the air than trees do. I don't know if you knew that or not.
How much
it takes in more carbon dioxide.
How much does Share Slow kick you down a month?
No, I'm just saying, everywhere you go, we can't even have straws or bags or containers. Everything, everything has to be recyclable and Mother Earth friendly, which is fine.
Drive over to Santa Lucia's and drive up and down that valley, and you'll smell lots of...
so once you get over there, that's where all the white people live, apparently. It's so stupid. My point of this whole thing is it's so dumb because everybody eats meat, and how they think... But anyways, they're using more of the Earth's resources to... more water, they're using more land, and they're using more energy to produce these foods that apparently potatoes, beef, apples, milk are some of the worst offenders. And it's like, apples? We don't even have a lot of apples around here. But you're a big contributor to this.
I love apples.
You eat cider, you drink cider, you eat beef, you eat apples, you drink milk and potatoes.
F you study, because I've been told since I was a kid, apple a day keeps the doctor away.
I love apples too.
Apples are good. They're refreshing. It's a refreshing snack. Makes for a great beverage. Makes for a better adult beverage. Come on. Don't dog me because of my apples. What are apples doing to kill the environment? Don't tell me the apples are bad.
I'm not thinking about the environment too much when I shop, but I am starting to because of pesticides and things you hear in the news.
Shut up, stupid white people.
I'm sorry. I've been buying more organic. Do you ever buy organic? I've been paying a little bit more, and I've been getting produce that's organic.
I almost cussed.
Stop it, Jeff.
I almost cussed. No.
Because you want to make sure that for your family...
Organic's
no,
a
it's
scam.
not.
Yes,
for your
it is.
family... Well,
Shut up, stupid white people.
You don't know anything about farming, Jeff. Listen, I know a lot of great farmers, and I would hope this goes down...
Who are these great farmers that you know?
Grape farmers, all right? They around here. They don't use pesticides. There's other ways that you can deal with battling insects by introducing other insects to kill that, different crops that will keep those insects away. There's just other things you can do than using these chemicals, which in the news are causing cancer. And so, you know what I've said? Forget it. From now on, when I buy vegetables, my wife is with you, by the way. She thinks it's all a scam.
It is a scam.
But I talk to these people on a weekly basis.
Scam.
And I'm telling you what right now.
Scam.
If you're not buying organic, you're taking a risk.
Fools, trolls.
And I'm not
Ain't
saying...
nobody got time for that.
I'm not saying everybody. And I'm
Shut
not
up,
saying
stupid white people.
everything, but I think when it comes to produce, this is a choice I've made. When I'm buying lettuces and cucumbers and all these things, if I can get it organic, I do, because only the pesticide thing. Now, if I can buy beef that's free range, that it sits there in a pasture...
Get off your organic...
And it doesn't come from a feedlot. Listen,
organic kale box, okay?
I'm not on an organic kale box. I'm not one of these weirdos. I'm not a tree hugger.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying.
I buy organic. I know a lot of farmers. I know grape farmers.
I'm just talking to these people and understanding the differences. Even the guys that aren't organic.
Yeah, because they're local. They
like
want you to buy from them, so it's part of the scam.
No. That's not necessarily true. Some of these guys are just guys that
would be
grow
happy
grapes and sell them to other people. I'm not going to buy any grapes from them.
So they'd be happy if you bought your organic produce from somebody in Sacramento?
Yeah, they're not selling produce, Jeff. I'm just saying this is what they do, and they explained, in this industry, which I'm not an expert in, and neither are you, is, why they've chosen not to use pesticides and to do more organic practices. Some are certified, some are not. I'm just saying it wouldn't hurt to think of it that way.
Which is going to yield the most for the least possible amount of money?
The stuff covered in pesticides that gives you cancer.
That's the equation that you have to figure out. So you're trying to tie the cigarette smoking study in your fake news media framing.
I'm not doing
here.
it. Why would you say that?
Because I noticed that we talked about cigarette or wine causing cancer.
Well, I still
and
drink
you're talking
wine.
about
I mean, I said I don't, but I
that
do.
are used on grapes. That if you get
I don't drink it as much.
sustainable wine, that you're not going to get cancer. That's the message that you're trying to give here.
I'm just reading a study that I thought was stupid because it said white people's diets are killing the environment. That's ridiculous. A lot of people's diets are killing the environment. It doesn't matter what your race is. It's just people need to start thinking about things. Like, we're killing the planet. Okay, now I really
Fake
sound bad.
news.
I'm not trying to go down this road. I'm just saying, listen.
Fake news.
I think I'm watching too many documentaries. I think Netflix is corrupting my mind.
Are these the farmers that you know? The ones that
No, I mean,
documentaries?
No. I put it all together. You take all these different slices of a pie to make a whole pie, right? And I'm talking to people here locally. I've been watching some documentaries. And would it hurt to pay a little bit more to get beef that was in an open pasture, that was full of grass, and that was creating more oxygen and taking in more carbon dioxide than most trees can do? I mean, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So is an extended warranty.
I mean, you can only look the
extended
other
warranty
way.
is very interesting too.
No, but you can only look the other way for so long, right? Do I sound crazy? You're not hearing anything I'm saying?
To me, you sound like a tree hugger. You sound like somebody who's going to start using crystals under their armpits because
no, I'm not.
Because antiperspirant
I'm telling
gives
you, I'm not that
Alzheimer's
person.
disease.
I'm just listen. I thought these people were crazy for a long time, but there is something to what they're saying, and I think if you opened your mind a little bit,
hey, that's great.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Then maybe that would you would see what I'm trying to say and stop making fun.
Hey, that's great.
All right, never mind.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.